When it comes to racial inequality, it persists in 5 core aspects of life in the U.S. Economics, education, healthcare, criminal justice, and housing. At nearly every turn, these achievements were fought, threatened, and erased, most often by white violence.
There was about 15% employment in the African American community for the first time in the history of the country. It's under 5%.
40% homelessness.
And 50% of the folks in our community.
Yet 13% of the population.
You had a chance to ask the question. I know that.
To me, that's the classic angry black woman. She fits all the stereotype when they say angry black woman.
It's because every time folks make 40 steps forward, they get dragged 40 steps back. So how do you...
Stop it, Whoopi. Every time you make 40 steps forward, you get dragged 40 steps back. You act like you in the slave days. For real. Tim Scott was on The View today. And of course, Sunny is victim of all victims. She wants everybody to jump on this bandwagon saying, oh, look at me, I'm black. I'm a victim of systematic racism. So, and she can't fathom anyone else thinking differently than her. And check out what she says.
I am actually happy that you're here. We have some things in common. You grew up in a single family household, single mother household. I grew up with both of my parents, but raised in the Bronx projects amidst a lot of...
To Sunny hosting, I'm going to look her up to actually see if she really grew up in the projects. She probably was there for a minute.
Poverty and violence. And you are the first black senator elected in the South since the Reconstruction. That would be about, I think, about 114 years. Yet you say that your life disproves leftist lies. And
Yes.
My question to you is, I'm the exception, right? You're the exception. Maybe even Miss Whoopi Goldberg is the exception.
Now you are the exception to the rule. If we go back to Sunny hosting, she makes 1.6. You can't say, oh, they paid the white people more than black people. She makes 1.6. Sarah Hines make 1.5. She makes more than Sarah Hines. And I think Sunny hosting, she has a law degree or something like that she probably don't use.
Oh, but we are not the rule. And so when it comes to racial inequality, it persists in 5 core aspects of life in the U.S. Economics, education, healthcare, criminal justice, and housing. At nearly every turn, these achievements were fought, threatened, and erased, most often by white violence. You have indicated that you don't believe in systemic racism. What is your definition of systemic racism?
Let me answer the question that you've answered.
Or does it even exist in your mind?
You guys, I had to add extra commentary into this video. So that's why you probably see me with a blue shirt on. And yesterday I had a black and white shirt on because they're flagging it. Of course, YouTube is being YouTube. Anyway, yeah, Sunny, I'm pretty sure racism exists in some type of form. But you are constantly spreading this agenda that if you do not try to, you're constantly spreading this propaganda. You're trying to say that if you try to achieve something as a black person, you're always going to be held back. And that is so untrue. And that is so untrue for you to tell anyone that. Oh, don't try to succeed. Many immigrants come over and obtain wealth, start from zero and obtain wealth for their family, generational wealth. So why can't black people do it?
Answer the question this way. One of the things I think about, and one of the reasons why I'm on the show, is because of the comments that were made, frankly, on this show, that the only way for a young African-American kid to be successful in this country is to be the exception and not the rule. That is a dangerous, offensive, disgusting message to send to our young people today, that the only way to succeed is by being the exception. I will tell you that if my life is the exception, I can't imagine.
But it is.
But it's not, actually. It's
been 114 years.
Yeah, so the fact of the matter is we've had...
Number one, stop interjecting. Everyone might not achieve success as a senator. And when we say exception to the rule, Yeah, you two are an exception to the rule. All these people that's on the TV, they are the exception to the rule because not a lot of people could aspire to be famous. Not a lot of people could achieve that greatness. So you are, but anyone could become a doctor or a lawyer as long as they study hard. Making the time and dedication to study your craft, yeah, you can achieve some type of success in your life. And then another thing, you're saying that, oh, we got to set the bar low for Black people. I don't understand that. Go work at Walmart. Okay, that's all you're good for. If you're Black, all you're good for. Don't mind studying. You're never gonna graduate. You're never gonna get that bachelor's degree. You're never gonna get that master's degree. You're never gonna become a doctor or a lawyer. So yeah, don't bother with that. We know that you are only capable of working at Walmart. To me, that's asinine.
There was about 15% employment in the African American community for the first time in the history of the country. It's under 5%.
40% homelessness.
And 50%
of African Americans
50% of the folks in our community
get 13% of the population.
You had the chance to ask the question. I know that I've watched you on the show that you like people to be deferential and respectful, so I'm going to do the same thing.
That is true.
So here's what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to suggest the fact of the matter is that progress in America is palpable. It could be measured in generations. I look back at the fact that my grandfather, born in 1921 in Sally, South Carolina, when he was on a sidewalk, a white person was coming, he had to step off and not make eye contact. That man believed then, with some doubt now, in the goodness of America, because he believed that having faith in God, faith in himself, and faith in what the future could hold for his kids would unleash opportunities in ways that you cannot imagine. Every kid today can look, just change the stations and see how much progress has been made in this country. ABC, NBC, CBS, ESPN, CNN, Fox News all have African American and Hispanic hosts. So what I'm suggesting is that the yesterday's exception is today's rule. And for us to
so
suggest—
America has met its promise.
No, of course, the concept of America is that we are going to become a more perfect union. But in fact, the challenges that we faced 50 years ago and 60 years ago should not be the same challenges that we face today. And here's the way that you measure that. When my mother was born,
I don't know why Tim Scott cited the preamble of the United States. I doubt it. Sonny Holston actually knows what the preamble of the United States is. She's very disrespectful when you ask a person a question. Why are you interjecting? I hate to stereotype Black women, but this is the stereotypical Black woman when they say, oh, we're mean and angry and hateful. This is the response you get. You get all this back talk. Every other cast member, let him speak and let him answer the question. But she has to ad lib. Every time he says something, she's interjecting with some smart remark. To me, that's the classic angry Black woman. She fits all the stereotype when they say angry Black woman.
10% of African Americans got a high school.
They're big. You're coming.
I'm just getting started. I believe all people can see the success that I've had.
I sat and I listened to everything you said.
Yes.
And I wonder why these conversations don't seem to be held with Republicans. All of the exceptional stuff you're talking about. And one of the reasons we continue to have new exceptionalism is because every time folks make 40 steps forward, they get dragged 40 steps back. So how do we—
Stop it, Whoopi. Every time you make 40 steps forward, you get dragged 40 steps back. You act like you in the slave days, for real. Whoopi, for real, you on The View. How much Whoopi weigh? Whoopi on The View is she making? Whoopi Goldberg makes $8 million. So every time you move 10 steps forward, they pulling you back, Whoopi, and you make $8 million. You making $8 million a year. And Whoopi Goldberg, every time you take 10 steps forward, they pull you 10 steps back. And what kind of back you talking about? So, like, can we get that 10 steps forward to $8 million, Whoopi? Come on. Like, come on. But and it's so crazy. They try to say, oh, they're for the people. You don't even know the people. Do you even know what a gallon of milk costs? Have you ever been to the grocery store? When was the last time you've been to the grocery store? You probably don't go. Another thing I want to point out, all the people clapping. Oh yeah, they pull us back 40 steps back. Come on, what is this? Is this Jim Crow? Like, what is this? This is 2023. They just had a black mermaid for what's that, Little Mermaid? She was black, and the original character was white. But they said every time they pull us forward, they pull us 40 steps back. It's just doesn't make any sense to me. That's somebody that's like really downtrodden, like you just getting out, like you just think loom and doom of your life. Like, I just don't understand that concept. But anyway,
as a nation, we seemingly get on the right track and then we go backwards. So you as a black man and as one of the, are there two black?
Yeah.
Senators?
Yeah.
Raphael Warnock.
Raphael, that's
three now.
The three.
Okay.
We still count Cory Booker, okay? We got Cory and Warnock on one side and me on the other side.
That's three.
why is she like, who's a billionaire? Who cares? Why are you so focused on the billionaires? What about millionaires? You want a huge tax cut because you're a millionaire. Tim Scott is actually giving you things that the Republican Party did for the Black community. You know, hard facts, data that you can actually look up, and tangible things. But you come back, oh, you also took a huge tax cut for the billionaires. Was that about 20 people in the United States? Maybe 50. Who cares about them? Why are you so focused on the billionaires? I've came across, and this is Mark Ruffalo, the guy who played in The Hawk. And he tweeted out, oh, we should tax billionaires 92%. 92% tax for billionaires. What about the millionaires, Mark? Mark Ruffalo, he make about 20 million a film, or maybe 10 million a film. I think his net worth, or he made $35 million, I think last year or the year before last. What about the millionaires? Why don't you tax the millionaires at 92%? Like, why did you overreach? You trying to just say, oh, I'm just a millionaire. Like, come on, man. Like, the insanity. They are so like hypocritical of the statements that they say. It doesn't even make any sense. And this is how people are so brainwashed. They're clapping. Yeah, they gave the billionaires, but you're not even a billion. You're not even close to billionaires. The people in the audience is probably thousandaires, you know, maybe close to six figures in California, because they pay them more. But they're clapping like, no, but this lady is a millionaire. Why don't they tax the millionaires? And you're mad because they didn't give the millionaire a tax cut? I just don't understand. But anyway.
Senator, if you want to talk about statistical realities, the statistical reality that we can't even argue with is that African Americans are what, 14, 15% of this country?
13%.
And they're 3% of the U.S. Senate. That is
why are they so focused on the U.S. Senate? 50% or 50 people. Why are you crying about that? I just don't understand that. Why are you crying about 50 jobs? Okay, maybe Black people don't want to be senators. So what? So what? And she actually did her math wrong. If it's 3 out of 50, that's more 6%. So I don't understand, why are they focusing on this right now? That has nothing to do with anything. You talking about progress. Who wants to be a senator? Like, who wants that job anyway? Like, now you might, but if you look at the House, they got plenty of Black people in the House of Representatives. Okay. I just don't, they're just trying to find something to complain about. And they saying, oh, you're the exception to the rule. Like, I worked hard, and if you work hard too, you probably could achieve your success too.
statistical reality.
That is only one statistic that in.
Yeah, Sunny Hostin and these ladies on The View, they are really, really, to me, they don't even have any logical sense. It's like, you try to reason with them and explain to them what matters. And, you know, Tim Scott, he's using like common sense. Okay, yeah, we still have work to do, but don't act like we haven't had any progress. And I loved it when he said that, you know, it was a dangerous implication for them to say, no matter how hard you try to work, you'll never achieve your goal. That's a dangerous message you could say to Black people. or any type of people. But they're trying to shoot that message. They're trying to spread that message. Oh, it doesn't matter how hard you work. The white man is going to keep you down. Like that's the message that they're trying to display to everybody. They want everybody to think that the white man is going to keep you down. It doesn't matter how hard you work. And to me, it's just so ludicrous to think that. It's really ludicrous. But you have people particularly liberals, and a lot of black folks think that no matter how hard you work, the white man's gonna keep you down. So you might as well not even try. Wednesday is my birthday, so I'll be streaming on my birthday, and we'll talk about something fun. Less loom and doom stuff. So